correct real quick too? There's a lot of food back here, you guys. It's gonna go cold.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
I've got my friend and associate over here, George Garclouds. He's going to take some video clips for my website and some other things that we do. So part of my marketing for 2016 and whatnot. But thanks for being here. Who here's ever seen this class before? Okay. Thanks for coming back. Must have been okay the first time, right?
Really good.
Okay, so let's see. Sign up sheet on the back. Hopefully you all signed that in because if you want your CE credit, you have to do that. I got this class approved by Dora about 3 years ago. Who's ever approached Dora to get something approved? How'd it go? Yeah, you're shaking your head like this immediately.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to get this class approved. It's coming up on the renewal, and I called in. I said, hey, I want to renew my class. What's the process? He goes, send me an email. I was like disappointed. You know, I've got to go through a great big process and do all this stuff to get that done. He's like, no, just send an email. You want to update the class, make sure the content hasn't effectively changed and you're still the presenter, and another 3 years. I'm like, rock and roll, I can do that. Okay, so my name is Paul Lukow, and I'm with a company called the Finer Center, F-I-N-E-R. That stands for Financial Educator Resource Center. I'm a financial advisor, but we really base our practice on education, which is one of the reasons I enjoy this class, because I like the activity, the event, the arena of teaching, but then use it in my practice, you know, individually and with business owners. So I grew up and was in Rochester, Minnesota. So I'm not a native. I moved out here about 10 and a half years ago. I've got 3 daughters who are very accomplished figure skaters, and the market for figure skating is way better here than Minnesota. That's a big hockey state. Not that this isn't, but it's just better for figure skating. So we came out here to do that. I don't know, I guess you'll find out more about me as we go. So I have a quick question. Here's what I'm going to do. This class is about giving you guys some financial principles that you can help your clients make decisions to buy real estate. Okay? Who's ever had a client sit down with you guys and tell you that they wanted to maybe buy a second home or an investment property or maybe a bigger primary residence, and then they say this, let me go bounce this off my financial planner, and then they come back, what's their mood and attitude when they come back? It's usually, oh, they poured water all over it, they said real estate's risky, you shouldn't do that, you got to put all your money into my favorite mutual fund or whatever, and they go away. Has that ever happened to you guys in here? Yeah, it's happened to me and the people I've worked with even. So what I've done, I was in mortgage banking for 15 years, 16 years ago. So I've been hanging around this stuff for 31 years, asking people what they make, what they spend it on, what they want to do, that sort of a thing. So I've been looking at people's finances for a long time. And what I've discovered is you see trends. Okay, we're going to talk about that in just a second. I'll open up with a little very short PowerPoint presentation. So I took all that mortgage banking experience, and what happened for me was I started calling, as a mortgage banker, started calling on financial services firms for clients. Because I wanted to beat you guys to the punch where you give it to your favorite loan officer. I wanted to have that guy first, and then I'd go, hey, can you sell this person a house? I've got them approved for a mortgage. I thought that was kind of a nice reversal to come to you guys and give you clients versus always begging you for them. So I started calling on this financial services firm, and I got 3, 4, 5, 6 clients a month out of there. It was fun. What was good about them was financially they were put together very nicely, so getting a house bought was nothing. It was very easy. Well, as that career started to kind of come to a close through a variety of events, I went to work for this financial services firm that I'd called on and was getting all these referrals from. And I've been doing that since 1999 to present, so quite some time. I got into mortgage banking in '84. So 15 years there and 16 some odd years here, and off we go. So I feel fairly well qualified to cover this topic. Would you guys agree with that? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. So, what if what you thought to be true about how money worked turned out to be false? When would you want to know that? Right away.
Yesterday.
Yeah. There's a great deal of information out there about my industry, and it's really hard to decipher it sometimes and get through the melees and get to the peel the onion back and get to the core and go, okay, is that true or is that not true? So I spend a lot of time with clients going through that. So let me just start here. Now, as I was setting up my projector blinked off, so I hope that that doesn't happen. So here we go. I won't use it a great deal, but, and I think what I'll do is, if it's okay with you guys, I'll go like that. You'll see it much better. Is that better? Okay, so again, sponsorship by Barbara Jensen of Land Title, Food, and everything. I think that's very, very nice of her to do. So be sure and keep her in your business plans going forward. Okay, so unique marketing and financial principles. Marketing and financial principles. This is the word that was getting me in trouble with Dora. Because they don't want me to market you guys, and I'm not going to. I'm going to teach you guys. So, but it's in the title. Who knows Bruce Jordan? Anybody know Bruce Jordan? Yeah, he teaches a lot of classes, like 60 a year. And he helped me put the synopsis together, which made this all come together. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
Maybe jumping the gun, but do you mind handing out a course guide? I forgot to bring some paper and I take lots of notes.
Do I mind what?
Do you have a course guide there on the corner of your table?
Oh gosh, you guys, I'm sorry.
I just didn't bring paper.
Yeah, thank you. I meant to.
Thank you.
My fault. We're just getting started on the first slide, so here you go.
Yeah, told you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's the first slide that you're going to see here in just a second. And I've got other handouts as we go. Wow. Appreciate that. Okay. So have any of your clients ever asked you about purchasing other real estate, such as these kinds of things? Larger home to live in, vacation, second home, investment property. Anybody had that come up, I hope? Otherwise you should do something else. But there might be this but. Yeah, but. Okay? So what's fun for me is take that person, thank you, that's great, and help them understand that it might be possible. We'll go through some case studies on the whiteboard here as we go on through this today. Where I'll show you some things. I bet you'll have some of those ring true in your head. So my mission statement for working with clients is twofold. I'm into helping them create financial security for my clients and their families. Based on the last 2 weeks, is there a great deal of financial security going on out there?
No.
Wow. I mean, that'd be a roller coaster that would give you a sore back because it's going up and down so fast. I mean, if it goes like this, that's one thing, and goes like this, that's another. But we're sitting down with couples bringing in statements with dollar figures on them. They've lost 8 and 10 and 12%, 30, 40, $50,000 in 10 days. Okay? Financial security. And secondly, this is my favorite word right here, is efficiency. Efficiency doesn't say rate of return, it says efficiency. I'm already boring. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some foundation about money and have a little fun here in a second with a couple of calculators, and then we're going to get into some really true examples, real-life examples of people I've helped buy real estate, which I hope will ring very true for you guys going forward. So, did you see that animation right there? That took me 30 days to figure out. Not a computer guy. There's three kinds of money that's out there. There's what's called lifestyle money. That's the money that you have today, that you have one of these. You live where you live, you drive the cars you drive, you eat out at the restaurants you eat out, you take the vacations you take, you have that. I am not here to ask you to change that for my benefit or your clients. I'd never say if you could just stop drinking that cup of coffee every morning, that $7 whatever it is at Starbucks, you could have a better retirement. If that makes your day, then you need to do that. There's accumulated money. That's the money that you have saved and are saving. What's the savings rate in the United States?
Wow. Negative.
Almost. It's not quite 1%. I think the advertisers have done a good job about just do it now. Just do it. Do it now. And we do. So our savings rate, consequently, is not very good. It's proven in the fact that you go through the grocery store line and you look at the periodicals that you're checking out, and they say things like retire and start a business. Retire and consult. Retire and. When I retire, if you can find me, good luck. No cell phone, no computer, a boat somewhere, an island, and a golf course. That's it. And then there's this transferred money. And that's where we can really make a difference. People lose. Now, transferred money doesn't mean inheritance or inherited money. It just means money that's moving away from us. In fact, I've got some more animations that took me quite some time to do, these little dollar signs as they float in. Transferred money is Money that's leaving your financial world unknowingly and unnecessarily, oftentimes. Most of us don't even know it's happening. What would be an example of a transferred dollar?
Big taxes
Losing
that are
interest.
necessary.
Paying unnecessary taxes. What else? That's perfect. What else? Interest charges on cars and credit cards and yada, yada, yada. College expenses. How we fund our retirement. How we own our house. Management fees. Lost opportunity costs. These are all dollars that are flowing away from us, and oftentimes we have no idea that's happening. But I got to tell you, it's hard for me not to find for a client $6, $8, $10, $12, $15, $20,000 a year going somewhere that doesn't need to be. So if the savings rate is less than 1% and I find you $15,000, that might equate to a 10% savings rate or a 20% savings rate. Now we can start to get somewhere. Does that make sense? Yes.
I have a question. Savings rate, did you mean what the banks are paying on?
No,
savings?
no, how much people are saving. What is the bank savings rate right now?
Like 1%?
Yeah, it's 0.1%, a tenth. Okay? That's an interesting study on how banks make money. I can maybe touch on that briefly. I don't want to get too far off the path here. So transferred money is a great place to find dollars. When someone says, I'd like to have a second home in the mountains, I'll bet they can. They just don't know it. And if you need a guy like me to walk in and go, here's the money, they may not do the business, but they may. And if they do, you guys sell property. And that's the goal of today's class. Okay. Ground rules. Help me define this word. How would you define that word? What's the definition of wealth?
What you keep?
What you keep, what else?
More money than you need.
More money than you need. What else? I'm going to keep things really simple, so go simple today. Who knows the name Vince Lombardi? Okay? You may or may not know this, you probably do, some of you, but in the fall he'd gather up all the meat packers who'd come to the sidelines to try out for the team that year, and Vince would have his assistant coaches and a big bag over here, and he'd reach in and he'd go like this and he'd pull out a football and he'd go, gentlemen, this is a football. That's why we're here. End of story. It's what he did next that was so exciting. He had his assistants run down to the end zone, put 6 in the end zone, and then he told 100 guys to go down there and all come back with a football. He figured out who his first 6 players were very quickly. If you came back with 100 guys down there and came back with one of those balls, you were a rugby player, maybe not a football player. Definition of wealth, check this out. The use and enjoyment of money. Simple? You know, I've got a couple of bucks in my pocket, does it have any value? Well,
Not to use it
but until when?
until you use it.
Until I expend it on something. So in my pocket, it's neutral. And I think we're being taught, in fact, I think I should click the go here. Our society is being taught not to do this. How are we being taught not to use and enjoy our money?
Well, the old adage of a penny saved is a penny earned.
Okay. That's that less than 1% savings rate, but you're right. We're being taught not to enjoy our money by where we put it. Where do we stick our money by and large if we're savers? What kind of vehicles?
401ks or
What the
IRA.
granddaddy is what? The 401k or the IRA. Does that have liquidity, use, and control?
No.
No. But yet people come to me doing that like crazy and they want to buy a bigger house and I go, oh, okay, we could make some changes here. Maybe, you know, whatever. So we talk about that. We'll get into that deeper. Money in motion. I think money in motion is how people who are wealthy got there. Okay, quick story. I got a friend back in the Twin Cities who I've known a long time. Younger than me by 5 or so odd years. And he graduated, he went to college for a year. And sat there and said, I wonder if what I just heard is going to make a difference out there. And he realized, he said to himself, I don't think it is. That was his choice. And guess what? He went and got a real estate license. I think it was Merrill Lynch Realty back then, which hasn't been around for a while. And he told a bunch of people he knew that he was a newly minted realtor, and if they wanted to buy or sell a house, would they consider working with him? Friends and neighbors and relatives and people. And he sold a couple of houses, got some seed money, and he bought a duplex. And he moved in and put a renter over here. And he told some more people that he had a real estate license, and if they knew anybody that he could help buy or sell a house, would they refer him to him? And he sold a couple more houses, and he bought another duplex, and another duplex, and another duplex. to the tune of hundreds of duplexes. He was now at the ripe old age of 25 or 26, making whatever that many rental checks would make you in a given year. From there, he parlayed that income into 40 and 50 and 1,600 unit apartment buildings with a team of people and a partner. And I was back in my home state probably 10 years ago now, playing golf with him. He belongs to two of the nicest country clubs on the planet, Hazeltine and Minnetonka. And we're playing golf, and he's playing awful well. And I played in college, and I'm a scratch, what have you. And he's playing awful good. And I said, "Gosh, Pat, you're hitting it pretty good." I said, "You get to play a couple times a week, and you know how golfers are. They got that bag on their back, and they're kind of walking down the fairway like this." And he nods his head, "Yeah." And I said, 3 or 4 times a week?" And he's, "Yeah." You play every day?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, that's great." He goes, "Well, I play golf, go have lunch, go in the office for a couple hours, and go home." He said, "But I'm leaving on a plane Monday morning to fly to Michigan." I said, "What's in Michigan?" He goes, "A property that I bought." I said, "Can you tell me about it?" He goes, "Yeah. It's a manufacturing company with a 30-year lease on the building and the parking lot and all the grass. And I'm buying it for $76 million. So he threw that into his portfolio. He was 45 at the time, maybe. He didn't think a 401k would quite get him there, so he did it this way. He kept his money. Rents came in, buildings got bought. Rents came in, buildings got bought. I think wealthy people never let their money sit still. It's really important. Okay. And the last thing is this, the law of the masses. Who can describe that for me? What that might mean?
Do opposite?
Do the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the solution. I'm looking for what that is.
If everybody jumps off a bridge,
Yeah,
you can do it too.
exactly. Okay, so questions. Are the masses wealthy or are the masses not wealthy?
Not well.
Are you pointing at this hand?
Yeah.
Because the question is why? Why aren't the masses wealthy? What do you think?
Because they're doing what everybody else is doing?
Well, right, sure. I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit and say to you, I think it's because of where the messages about money come from. They come from guys like me in my industry. They come from the pundits, the periodicals, the television, the internet, the journalists, the talking heads, the water cooler conversation at the office. Does that make sense? Now, next question. So therefore, if we all do with our money what the masses do with theirs, what by default are we going to get? This or this? That? So here's my final question. Doesn't that suggest we might do something very different?
Yes.
Yeah. Not here to scare you, but we know who these people are. You know, Ann Schutz and Harvey Mackay and LeBron James or whatever. You know, we know those people, but the rest of the population resides over here. So the law of the masses simply says do what the masses do, get what the masses get. Okay. When I sit with a client, I ask them a great deal of questions about what financial success means to them. And this is kind of a fairly big list of what I typically get.